Hello! Before we get started, I felt I should warn you, watching this movie made me pretty angry, so I apologize in advance if any of my statements in this video hurt anyone's feelings. This video only reflects how I felt about the movie. If you liked it, that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that. And real quick, spoiler for The Conjuring 3. Again, that should be a given, but I have to say it. With that all said, let's begin. The Devil Made Me Do It is the latest installment in the Conjuring universe. A universe that, by all means, should be dead already. And if this movie doesn't kill it, then I don't know what will. It honestly baffles me that there are still fans of this franchise. Especially of all the shit it released in 2019, including such blockbuster bombs as The Nun and Annabelle Comes Home, as well as The Curse of La Llorona, which I deem to be the second worst movie of that year. Perhaps if I named it number 1, then we wouldn't have gotten this. How unfortunate.
The true case that proved that the devil is real. Oh, fuck off.
You see, this movie is based off of the Arnie Johnson case that took place in 1981, specifically 40 years ago. Arnie Johnson was convicted of first-degree manslaughter for killing his landlord, Alan Bono. In his testimony, Arnie claims to be possessed by the devil. Obviously, the court thought he was crazy and sentenced him to 20 years in jail, of which he only served 5 because fuck the justice system! There's more to it than that, but that's not important. What is important is that the movie uses this as a framework to slide this into the Conjuring canon.
So the movie kicks off with an aftermath, I guess. They say this child has gone through an exorcism and that shit is about to hit the fan. Those aren't their exact words, but given that this is a Conjuring movie, we all know it's going to happen. So the kid goes to bed, something spooks him and he hides in his bathtub. Then the movie goes quiet for a minute until the shower turns on and starts raining blood.
Wait, what? Why? Wouldn't it just be raining normal water? But I guess that wouldn't be scary enough. Although regardless, it's not scary, it's just stupid. I'll explain why, but bear with me for a minute.
So the family comes to his rescue only to find out that the boy is possessed. So the only option is to do an exorcist, because apparently the first one didn't work, so the second one should work out great, right? Oh boy. This scene only goes on for 4 minutes, yet raises so many questions that it would break the sin counter. Why is someone recording this in a shitty black and white filter? Does the demon give the child rabies? Is it a rat demon? Why does it make the kid contort? I mean, I guess that is pretty effective. What about the fucking force powers? Is that the demon's fault, or is that just the movie showing off? So the kid breaks free and attacks the priest, but Arnie grabs the boy and tells the demon to take him. It sounds ridiculous, but there is some logic behind it. Arnie is older and perhaps stronger-willed than the boy.
What I don't get is the thought process behind the filmmakers that presented this shit on my plate. We barely know any of these people, so seeing them in danger is not effective tension. It's just an empty struggle where we, the audience, have no investment with what's at stake. You could argue that obviously the boy is in danger, and fair enough. But I would have preferred to get to know the boy a little more before putting him in danger. Like maybe start the movie with him at school or something? It's just a thought.
There's another thing I'd like to get off my chest, but I'll save that for later. For now, the demon infests Arnie, and nobody seems to care for his well-being. Well, I guess the boy is more important. Title card. Oh yeah, this is apparently The Conjuring 3, even though this is like the 9th installment in this franchise. So things quiet down some, but then... Oh, never mind, it was just a rat. Oh well, doesn't look like there's anything here. Might as well go. Ah! What the fuck was that?
So not only did the movie take its sweet fucking time to set up its jump scare, it also devalues the jump scare by making it irrelevant. First with the rat, then Arnie gets assaulted by someone and it turns out to just be his imagination? Really? You can't just pull something like that without devaluing the scare. If the character isn't in danger, then what am I supposed to be afraid of?
In his next scene, Arnie is at work. And I apologize, but what the fuck is this?
I guess he plans to cut the tree?
What lunatic would holster themselves to the tree they plan to cut, let alone several feet off the ground? Where's the ladder? How does he plan to get down from there? He gets jump scared and nothing happens. Just another wasted effort. Then the priest wakes up and says that the demon has Arnie. Apparently everyone is shocked by this.
Did nobody else have their fucking eyes open when Arnie grabbed the kid? Was everyone so devoted to the safety of this child that they would miss something so obvious? Like, this shouldn't be a revelation. It should be common fucking knowledge at this point. The entire family should be quarantined to prevent an outbreak. There should be people guarding them. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but if this is the third installment, you'd think someone would be taking this seriously.
So then we get the murder scene. Except it looks really sloppy and it was really hard to understand what was going on. So Arnie hallucinates that Alan is making moves on his girl and leaves to get some air. When he comes back, he imagines that Alan is turning into a demon. Man, how many beers did he have? Look at him! In panic, he gets his girlfriend to safety, however Arnie falls and he thinks that Demon Alan is attacking him. So he grabs a knife to defend himself. Then we get that iconic scene from the trailer.
Jesus. I think I hurt someone.
I'm not going to try and break this down because it does make sense. The demon was clearly fucking with Arnie's mind, and the movie did establish that it's capable of doing that. On top of that, they don't portray Arnie as an irredeemable monster. Alan, on the other hand, was portrayed as this dumb drunkard, and I'm not so sure that was a wise decision. In his next scene, Arnie is being interrogated. At least I think that's what's happening. They have him read words from the Bible, and apparently that alone is enough to prove that he's not possessed.
Ah yes, that pure holy literature. Truly, the souls of Satan could never comprehend its words.
Anyway, so the next scene is a setup for the court case, which immediately made me think of God's Not Dead 2, although I'd rather not remember that garbage. So this is Lawyer Lady, and if she is given a name, I can't be bothered to remember it. Because she doesn't really do anything. Because she's introduced and then immediately dropped. Like the movie told a bad joke. She's unconvinced that demons exist, and the man in the room says that he has proof, and that he can show it to her. I guess whatever it was pretty convincing, because then the movie just snaps it to the court case, and she pleads demonic possession. Unsurprisingly though, the court is unconvinced, so it's up to the crippled man and his wife to figure out what's going on. Then we get a flashback scene to 5 months earlier. Wait, wouldn't it have made more sense to have this at the beginning of the movie? Nah, but what do I know? Anyway, it shows the family moving into their new home, and the boy from the beginning is back! Hooray! So he gets spooked, and naturally nobody believes him. You know, this is the perfect moment to say I told you so. Come to think of it, where is that little boy whose name I just realized is David? Should they be questioning him? He was the first to encounter the demon, so surely he knows something about it. But instead, he shows up for the flashback and is never seen again. I'm not kidding, they don't show the boy for the rest of the movie. I have no idea why. Anyway, their next plan is to enter the basement. Because that's fucking genius. I can't think of anything that could possibly go wrong. Well, to be fair, I guess it's not really a basement, since she's essentially just crawling underneath the house. Anyway, she finds some weird voodoo doll thing and takes its picture. She shows the picture to the rest of the gang, and the priest, who just appeared out of nowhere, says he knows an expert on this little thing they found. Alright, let's go get the guy. Why not? We're already so detached from the main conflict, so we might as well get someone else involved. So they ask the expert, why is this happening? And he says, and I quote, the why is irrelevant.
Which is movie speak for, just don't fucking think about it already. Stop asking questions. None of it is important. Just focus on the stupid fucking movie. It's becoming clear that the movie doesn't want me to use my brain. because what happens next makes no fucking sense.
So in the next scene, Arnie is apparently mopping, and the demon inside of him decides to jump scare his ass, because why not?
Hell, at this point I wouldn't be surprised if the demon was actually a jokester.
Then we cut to this person who has Arnie's picture. Who is this person? Why does he have Arnie's picture? Why did the movie decide to do this?
Ugh, fuck it, I'm done. Beyond this point, Mr. Crane and the old shrew go on a wild goose chase to try and uncover the truth. It's slow, pointless, and compounded by meaningless jump scares. So fuck it, let's just skip ahead to the finale because not much happens until then.
So another demon infects Mr. Crane and tries to kill the old shrew. And meanwhile, Arnie's demon is going berserk. However, both demons die to the power of love. I wish I was joking. Arnie spends 5 years in jail, and everyone lives happily ever after. The end.
This movie was a fucking mistake. All it does is add supernatural elements to an otherwise ordinary story of a boy being charged with murder. The demon starts out as this big deal and then is reduced to a guy throwing spitballs. In the entire 2 hours of the movie's runtime, we only get one casualty. That's insanely low, even for a horror movie. Rather than the demon being an actual threat that the characters have to overcome, he's reduced to nothing more than a side gag. Like one of those kids who rings the doorbell then runs away. It's nothing more than a jump scare every fucking time. I know movies have tons of jump scares, but if there's no weight behind them, then they're pointless. If the character isn't in danger, or if nothing happens as a ramification of that jump scare, then there's no reason to be afraid, because they were never really in danger. It's like they keep complaining who turned out the lights when they just have their eyes closed. Characters are introduced and immediately dropped, and the ones that aren't are barely fleshed out. Look, I'm not expecting to get an encyclopedia from these guys, but I want them to at least express their feelings for once. But that's the major flaw of having too many characters. The movie never focuses on any of them. Contrast this with Benny Loves You. I know I said Jack was unlikable, but at least the movie tried. It showed us him as a kid. He was scared of the dark, so his mom gave him a plushie that he held on to for years. On top of that, the movie shows us what he's going through. His life went to shit after his parents died. Literally anyone can relate to that. If the movie had just started with him as a child and then flashed forward to him in the present, I wouldn't have a problem sympathizing with him. In order for me to be scared, I have to have someone to relate to, someone to care about, someone I don't want to see die. It's far more effective when I'm given time to like the person before putting them in danger. The problem with the Conjuring movies is that they always go for those surface level scares. We're never given a character to empathize with because there has to be a jump scare every 5 minutes. It doesn't give us enough time to understand what's going on, or even explain anything. Because of this, all their movies feel like a spiraling staircase with no end in sight. Perhaps that's due to James Wan's departure, because this movie more than any of them really feels unfocused, with its slow pace and 12 dozen characters. It's like the writers didn't have confidence in telling this story, so they went with the least minimal effort possible. My point is, it's incredibly easy to tell a story, but it takes passion to make one matter. So the final score for The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Wee Wee, is a 1 out of 10. Heaven save me from this abomination.
Next time, someone is going to be framed for wetting the bed. Until then, I'll be conjuring up my next video. See you later!